A long, long time ago, in the middle of winter, a good and gentle queen sat by a window with an ebony frame. As she sewed, she pricked her finger and 3 drops of red blood fell onto the white snow outside. The queen wished, "Oh, how I wish that I had a child as white as snow, as red as blood, and as black as the ebony window frame."
I want a child who is soft as snow.
A year later, her wish came true, and she gave birth to a little princess. They named her Snow White. Sadly, soon after the birth, the good queen died. The king married again, and his new wife was very beautiful, but also very vain, meaning she cared too much about her looks and wicked. The stepmother, now the new queen, had a magical mirror. She would stand before it and ask, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And the mirror would always answer, "My queen, you are the fairest in this land." This answer made the queen happy because she knew the mirror always told the truth. But as Snow White grew up, on her 7th birthday, she was the most beautiful girl in the kingdom. When the queen asked her mirror the famous question, it gave a new frightening answer, "My queen, you are beautiful and fair. It is true, but Snow White is 1,000 times more fair." The evil queen was filled with jealousy and hatred. "I will not be second." She could not stand that someone else was prettier than her. The queen called her best huntsman and ordered him to take Snow White deep into the forest. "You must kill her and bring me her heart as proof." The huntsman was a kind man. He took Snow White into the woods, but when he raised his knife, she cried and begged, "Oh, dear huntsman, please spare my life. I will run away and never return home again." Seeing her tears and innocence, the huntsman took pity on her. He couldn't kill her. He decided to let her go, believing that the poor girl would surely be lost and die in the wilderness anyway. To trick the queen, he killed a young boar, a wild pig instead, and took its heart back to the queen, who ate it, thinking it was Snow White's. Snow White was now alone in the vast, dark forest. She ran over stones, through thorns, and past wild beasts until she saw a tiny, strange little cottage in a clearing. Snow White was tired and hungry. She went inside the little house. Everything in the cottage was small but clean. There was a small table set with 7 small plates, 7 small knives and forks and 7 small cups. Against the wall were 7 small beds. Snow White ate a little food from each plate and drank a little wine from each cup. Then, feeling very sleepy, she lay down on one of the beds and fell fast to sleep. When it was dark, the rightful owners of the cottage came home. They were the 7 dwarfs.
Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
They spent their days digging for gold and diamonds in the mountains. The dwarfs noticed that someone had been in their house. "Who's been sitting in my chair?" asked one. "Who's been eating from my plate?" asked another. Finally, they saw Snow White asleep in one of their beds. They were surprised by how beautiful she was. When Snow White woke up the next morning, she told them her sad story. The kind dwarfs offered her a place to stay. "If you will cook, make the beds, wash, sew, and knit, and keep everything tidy," they said, "you may stay here, and we will protect you. But you must be careful. Do not let anyone into the house while we are away." And so Snow White happily stayed with the 7 friendly dwarfs whose names were Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey. The evil queen was shocked and enraged when her magic mirror told her, "My queen, you are beautiful and fair, but over the mountains with the 7 dwarfs, Snow White is 1,000 times more fair." She locked herself away and, using her darkest magic, prepared a single beautiful and deadly apple. She made sure that the entire apple was soaked in a powerful sleeping poison, not just one side. The queen then used a powerful disguise to turn herself into a very old, sweet red apples for sale. Snow White looked out and sadly shook her head. "I cannot open the door. The dwarfs warned me never to let anyone in." "You foolish child, why would I hurt you? I only want to sell my wonderful fruit." She held up the large, shiny red apple. "It is the last one I have left." She completely forgot the dwarf's strict warnings. Thinking the old woman was genuinely kind, Snow White reached through the window and took the red apple. She raised the apple and took a large juicy bite. As soon as the poisoned flesh touched her lips, Snow White fell to the floor, still and silent, as if she had turned into stone. The evil queen laughed a harsh, cold laugh. She ripped off the old woman's hood, revealing her cruel face, satisfied that she had finally won. The dwarfs will never wake you. She rushed back to the castle and asked her mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" And the mirror answered, "My queen, you are the fairest in this land." The queen smiled, believing her horrible deed was done for good. When the dwarfs returned, they found Snow White lying on the floor. They tried everything. They shook her gently, they loosened her collar, but nothing worked. They knew the wicked queen had finally succeeded. They cried for their lost friend. The dwarfs placed her in a beautiful glass coffin to keep watch over her. Eventually, a handsome prince traveling through the forest saw the glass coffin. He fell deeply in love with Snow White's gentle sleeping beauty. He begged the dwarfs and they agreed to let him take the coffin. The prince leaned down and gave the still sleeping Snow White a loving kiss on forehead. Because of the magic of the true love's kiss, the poison spell was broken. Snow White's eyes fluttered open. The prince was overjoyed. He explained what had happened and Snow White instantly fell in love with him too. They soon married and lived happily ever after.